Here's a question for you, ladies. What do you think is the most important thing that a man needs to fall in love and stay in love with a woman? Would you say physical attraction or chemistry, perhaps a sense of humor or intimacy in the bedroom? Well, from my last 5 years of coaching many of you, the one factor that I notice has the greatest impact on your relationships with men is the one that you see on this title: respect. My name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker. And I'm here to tell you, ladies, that you could have supermodel looks, okay? You could have a brilliant mind and a prestigious career. You could even be a superstar between the sheets, but these have a minor impact when it comes to being respected by the man you want. And if you want to understand why men only love women they respect, and you want to apply these lessons in your own life, pay close attention to the points I'm about to discuss, okay? So let's begin. Desire versus respect. Ladies, just because a man desires you, it doesn't mean that he will respect you. Now, don't get me wrong, desire is important in any relationship, right? It's that initial spark, that chemistry that draws you together. But here's the thing, desire alone isn't enough to sustain a healthy long-term relationship. Desire can be fleeting. It's based on physical attraction, novelty, and sometimes even the thrill of the chase. But respect is the foundation of a deeper connection. It's what makes a man sees you as his partner, his teammate, someone that he can grow and evolve with. Desire is, I want this woman in my house. And respect is, I want to build a home with this woman. And what I find really interesting here on my channel is that when I make videos on seduction and triggering desire in a man, I get 5 times more views than when I make one like this about respect. Which tells me that many of you are only focusing on one side of the equation. Just like men who think that, making money will automatically attract all women, but they never learn how to make you feel safe and understood. Anyways, for those of you smart ladies that are still watching, here are 3 ways that you can actively build respect with a man every day. Number 1, let your actions speak. Listen, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard women in my community say, I told my partner that I won't tolerate that behavior, but then I saw those women bending over backwards again for the same guy. And here's the reality, your words are just words if they're not backed up by action. If you try to set boundaries by saying, I won't accept this, it means nothing if you don't follow through. If you tell a man that certain behaviors are unacceptable, but then you stay in the relationship when he crosses those boundaries, what message are you really sending? You're essentially saying that your boundaries are negotiable, and that is not the foundation of a respectful relationship. So how do you make your actions speak louder than your words? Simple. Stand by your principles and standards. If he disrespects you, don't just threaten to walk away. Actually do it. It doesn't have to be permanent, but it's crucial to show that you respect yourself enough to not tolerate disrespect. And here's another thing. Don't confuse giving a second chance with lowering your standards. If he's sincerely apologetic, and makes an effort to change, that's one thing. But if he's repeatedly crossing the line and you keep forgiving him, you are teaching him that your boundaries are just suggestions and not rules. And that's a slippery slope that leads to resentment and ultimately his loss of respect for you.
Oh, hey, how are you? Not good. We need to talk. Oh, yeah. What's going on? I know we've been dating for a while, but I can't take it to the next level. That's fine. What? You don't want to be with me, that's fine. I just can't commit to anything right now. So if you're cool with that, I'd still like to, date, just not like date, Are you done? Are you okay? Yeah. Door's that way. What? Bye.
Number 2, take responsibility. This next one might be a little tougher to hear, ladies, but it's essential. You have to hold yourself accountable. I have coached so many women, who found themselves lying in relationships, not because they were deceitful, but because they were afraid to admit their own mistakes or flaws. But here's the thing, Even if your partner is lying and you respond by lying as well, you're lowering yourself to a level that's beneath you. Instead of rising above the situation and maintaining your integrity, you're compromising your values, which only leads to more harm in the relationship. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you have the right to lie because he lied first, or that small lies don't matter, especially if you're doing it to avoid conflict or protect your feelings. But over time, this behavior will destroy trust and respect. Accountability is a two-way street. If you expect honesty and respect from a man, you need to hold yourself to the same standard. Remember, it's important to stay true to yourself, and sometimes walking away from a person or a situation that diminishes your worth is the strongest move that you can make. Number 3, honoring your deal breakers. Here's something that I can tell you, ladies. If you're dealing with confusion and overthinking in your dating life or relationships, most times it's because you haven't identified your deal breakers. You have to know what are the things that you're not willing to compromise on, because this would always bring clarity when you're making an important decision in your love life. It could be anything from shared financial goals to religious values and everything in between. Whatever they might be, you have to find someone who's willing to meet you at those standards. If that person can't or refuses to, then I suggest that you let go of that connection. Knowing your deal breakers isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about being clear on what you want so you don't settle for less. This is something that I've been guilty of. In my 20s, I had this romanticized idea that if my partner wasn't willing to respect my deal breakers, I could slowly change her over time. My ego made me think, okay, she's not acting the way that my ideal partner would, but that's okay because, I can fix her, or I can mold her into believing the things that I believe. And oh boy, that only brought confusion and pain into my life. Your job isn't to fix or change anyone, and I know that you've heard this, right? Your job is to find a partner that accepts you as you are and honors the things that are important to you. If you bend too often to accommodate someone else, it's only a matter of time before you break. Alright ladies, so before ending the video, let's take a moment to think about what a relationship built on mutual respect looks like. It's not just about avoiding conflict or keeping the peace, it's about active participation from both partners. It's not you in the back seat of his life watching him go through his journey. It's you being in the passenger seat next to him as you support each other's growth. Before you're able to build that kind of relationship though, I want you to always remember that respect starts with you. Not to sound like a broken record, but it's so important because without this, the rest is impossible. Self-respect is about showing up authentically, standing by your values, and not compromising on the things that matter most to you. When you respect yourself, you set the standards for how others should treat you. And that is the foundation of the healthy, loving relationship that we all dream of. Alright, so that's all I have for today, ladies. Thanks so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad that you chose me to learn about self-love, dating, and relationship dynamics, because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change. Have a beautiful day.